Hello friends. In my previous video, I talked about everything that you need to know in order to plan a travel trip to Vietnam. I hope you have checked it out. If you have missed it, do check it out right now. This video is a part of the 3-part series where I am going to be covering each of the 3 regions of Vietnam, North, South and Central. In this particular video, I will talk about South Vietnam. I will talk about the must-do things and must-do visit places in South Vietnam so that your experience in South Vietnam is worthwhile. And trust me, when I talk about all of the different cities in Vietnam, you will get to understand how different and beautiful and unique they are from each other. So let's get started with Ho Chi Minh, or as some people call it, Saigon as well. In Ho Chi Minh, you must spend minimum 2 nights in order to cover the entire city or the major attraction. But I would recommend you spend 3 nights here just to soak in the city. It's a beautiful city. Ho Chi Minh is famous for its 2-wheelers. It can be a nightmare for a lot of people to cross the road, but on the same hand, it is so fascinating to see so many 2-wheelers with different sets of people going in the same direction at the same speed. First major attraction in Ho Chi Minh that I'm going to be talking about is Bui Vien Walking Street. It's an amazing place filled with bars, restaurants, pubs, coffee shops. This place literally comes alive in the night time, so preferably visit during the night time. The flashy lights and the loud music makes it a worthwhile experience. You will just love the feel and vibe of this place. The next major attraction in Ho Chi Minh is Saigon Post Office. It is a 150 years old building built by the French colonialists. The post office is still functional and you can purchase postcards inside and send it to your loved ones or to yourself as well. You can also purchase a lot of memorabilia inside and for your loved ones and just take it back to your hometown. The architecture of this building is just to be awed by. Just next to the post office is the Ho Chi Minh Book Street. It's one of the most beautiful book streets where you can click a lot of good pictures. There are so many good cafes inside the street where you can just have a sip of coffee, relax and chill and enjoy the Vietnamese vibe. Bentha Market is another notable place that you should not miss. It is one of the oldest surviving structures in the city and is an important symbol for the people of the city. You can purchase a lot of beautiful looking souvenirs here. Do not forget to bargain hard here. The 2 most notable places that you cannot miss at all are Mekong Delta and Cuisine Tunnels. You will need an entire day to cover both these places as these are outside the city. You can book these tours either through Klook or get your guide or even take help from the hotel or the homestay that you are staying in. We booked a tour through Klook, which included pickup and drop in a luxury limousine van, the travel from our hotel to both these places, and of course a good lunch as well. So talking about the first place, which is Cuisine Tunnels, it was created by Vietnamese people and soldiers during the Vietnamese War, or as Vietnamese people call it, American War. These were used to hide during the war. The locals or the authorities have still kept one of the tunnels to be open for the people to see. It's a 100-meter tunnel where you can just go in. There are exits at every 20 meters, so if you are not feeling comfortable, you can come out as well. But you should definitely do it to see how far you can extend your limits to. You should also experience the gun shooting nearby the Cuisine Tunnels. It's definitely a very good activity to do. You get to use real rifles. We got to use AK-47 and trust me, it was a worthwhile experience. On the way to Cuisine Tunnels, we also got to stop at one of the places where specially abled people make some beautiful art from the shells of the egg. I was stunned to see how these worthless pieces of eggshells can be transformed into something really amazing. So you should definitely check it out, and if you like something, you should definitely purchase something as well. Mekong Delta is a whole world in itself. You will see houses, boats and markets floating on the river. This is one place where you will get some of the best clicks of this entire trip. We also got to visit the place where locals manufacture chocolates from the coconut. You can take some of those back home as well. They are very tasty. And of course then the trip ends with tasting of some local fruits and drinks along with some local music. Vietnam has these innumerable pagodas. So if you're interested in visiting, so do visit some of those in Ho Chi Minh. One of the notable ones which we visited is called Thien Hau Pagoda. And trust me, we felt so at calm once we visited that place. So you should definitely also include it in your itinerary. There are two more places which we didn't cover because we didn't want to go to those places. But again, those are some notable places where other people do visit, and those will feature in Google as well. There are two places. One is War Remnants Museum, and the second is the Water Puppet Show. So they have some pretty good reviews and ratings on Google and TripAdvisor and other places. So if you're interested, do check it out. Ho Chi Minh also has these amazing nightclubs which are at the rooftops of these big buildings. So if you are feeling that kind of a vibe, you should definitely visit one of these and just relax and have a beer and just chill and see the 360 view of the entire city. One of the places which I can recommend, which we visited, is called Air Saigon. It's an amazing place and we just loved it. We were there for 2-3 hours and we just felt amazing. The stays in Ho Chi Minh are quite affordable, but my strong recommendation would be that if you can, you should definitely stay in District 1 because most of the places, the notable places to visit, are centered around this place. For example, Bui Vien is literally just walking distance from District 1. So that's the preferred stay option. The next city that you should cover in your South Vietnam itinerary is Moi Ne. Moi Ne is around 150 kilometers from Ho Chi Minh. You can reach there either by taking a bus or a cab. Moi Ne is a completely different city from what Ho Chi Minh is, and it's a beach resort town. It is famous for kite surfing. You can plan to take some kite surfing lessons there. It is also famous for its red and white sand dunes. So if you see beaches and sand dunes, it's a pretty amazing mixture of these kind of places in Moi Ne. In terms of recommendation for stay, we stayed at iHome Backpacker Resort Hostel. It's amazing. It has a very cool vibe. We were lucky to find this place to stay there. One night is more than sufficient for Moi Ne, but if you can max extend it to 2 nights. Place or city that you should cover in your South Vietnam itinerary is Dalat. Dalat is 150 to 200 kilometers from Moi Ne. Again, it's a very different city from what Moi Ne and Ho Chi Minh were. While Moi Ne and Ho Chi Minh both were on the hotter side, Dalat is a comparatively colder vibe. You will see a lot of people wearing jackets there if you're traveling during that particular time. Dalat has a huge lake at the center which is called Zuan Huang Lake. We started walking around the lake but was so mesmerized that we just kept on walking and walking and kept on walking for the next 1.5 to 2 hours. We were met by locals who were singing besides the lake. We met some college good kids who offered some food to us, and there are plenty of street shops as well where you can purchase something. So one of the most notable things to do in Dalat is the Dalat New Alpine Roller Coaster. It's one of its kind roller coaster where you can actually control the speed as well, slow it down or make it fast as per what you want right now. And when you're traveling on the roller coaster, you can stop in between and also have a look at the Datanla waterfalls where you can click some really good pictures. We found the pagodas in Dalat to be one of the most beautiful in the entire Vietnam. Some of the notable ones which we recommend is the Truc Lam Buddhist Monastery and the Lin Phuoc Pagoda. A couple of nights is more than sufficient for Dalat, but if you have more time, even after going to all the places that I recommended, there are a few more places that you can visit. One of them is Crazy House. You should definitely visit this place if you have kids. They will love it. Another place which is just outside the city is called Elephant Waterfalls. Again, we saw the pictures, but unfortunately we didn't have much time, so we couldn't travel to that place, but that's another place that you can probably go. So this is a 6 to 7 day itinerary for South Vietnam. If you still have more time in South Vietnam, there are few more cities which you can cover. One of them is Phu Quoc Islands, where you can probably spend a couple of nights there. And the other place is called Nha Trang. It's again a beautiful place where you can probably spend one more night to make it a 10-day itinerary for South Vietnam. I hope this was helpful for you guys to plan a travel to South Vietnam. If it was, please hit the like button and do subscribe. I will shortly be coming up with a video on Central Vietnam. Till then, goodbye.